was just a mirage. And the guy who instigated everything was a Democrat from Maine who called a Republican from Texas a big wiener.
My name is Tom Connolly, and I'm an attorney.
Tom was active in the Maine Democratic Party and a delegate to the 2000 Democratic National Convention. He was always looking for a chance to speak out against the death penalty and Reaganomics. So when the fiscally conservative, capital punishment-endorsing George W. Bush started campaigning for president, Tom had to give him a piece of his mind.
One of the first stops was in Maine, so I went over to protest it.
Tom found a spot in the crowd and waited for his moment.
So he comes out and turns around the big limo, and he's got the window down, and there he is. I see him. And so I yelled, "You big wiener," and he yelled back at me, "Who you calling wiener boy?" is what he said, and he drove away.
That wiener boy incident kicked off a grassroots anti-Bush campaign. Tom launched a Wiener Boy website and made W is for Wiener buttons that featured a drawing of Bush stuffed inside a hot dog bun. Despite Tom's best efforts, the whole wiener thing didn't really catch on. Bush got the Republican nomination, and as the election drew closer, he had even odds to win the presidency.
The Bush and Gore campaigns don't agree on much, but tonight they do agree on this. The race goes to the wire.
But Tom was about to learn something with the potential to throw the election into chaos. On the afternoon of Thursday, November 2nd, he was in court defending a client when a friend approached him with some information.
Did you know George Bush had a drunk driving charge here in Maine? I said, no. He said, yeah. I said, no. He said, yeah. I said, really? He said, yeah.
Even though his friend said yeah at least 3 times, Tom wanted to confirm it for himself. So he called up the clerk of court in Biddeford, an old mill town not far from the Bush family's summer estate in Kennebunkport, Maine.
So I said, "Can you check for a closed file?" And she said, "Okay, sure, Tom." And I said, "Did George Bush?" She says, "I know that." Like, she was waiting for this call, you know.
The clerk faxed Tom what she had. A document from 1976 showing that George W. Bush had pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor for operating a vehicle under the influence and paid a small fine.
Gosh, we were so innocent
Bush's
when that could have
drinking past wasn't a secret.
that could have
He
changed
never
things, but
revealed
everything
the
Trump
source
did didn't
publicly.
hurt.
And now, this powerful, potentially election-changing intel had fallen into the hands of the W is for Weiner guy.
And I thought, why hasn't this come out? And so I'm telling anybody that would listen, hey, did you know? Did you know?
One of the people who listened was a local TV reporter who happened to be hanging around the courthouse. That afternoon, Tom told her what he knew, and then he waited for the fallout.
At 6 o'clock that night, I just watched the local news, and I remember thinking, it's not even on there.
What Tom didn't know is that his story was now in the hands of a national news network.
Fox News Channel. We report, you decide.
Coming up, the fairness ideal of the early Fox News network was about to be put to the test.
This is On